In this video, we will learn how to factor trinomials. What is a trinomial? So trinomial is a quadratic polynomial, which is a polynomial of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So the objective is to factor this kind of polynomial. So how do we do that? So first, put the AC and B inside the box in the right order. So AC, put the AC, which is the product of the leading term and the constant term. And then put the B. And the next step is to find two numbers so that this equation become a true statement. And then once we find two numbers, such that these two statements become a true statement, and then after that we put these two numbers that we get from the previous step inside the slot. And then the last step is to simplify the expression. Let us try with a concrete example. So first we consider the product of the leading term and the constant term, 3 times 4, which is 12. So we put it here. And we consider the coefficient of x, which is 8. So now we are looking for two numbers so that the product is equal to 12 and the sum is equal to 8. So we can try to list all the factors of 12. So 12 can be written as 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. And then 4 times 3 is basically the same. So this is the all possible factors of 12. And then among all these possible factors, we would like to find the two factors that add up to 8. So 1 plus 12 is 13. Not the two numbers that we are looking for. 2 plus 6 is 8, which is exactly the one that we are looking for. So we put this 2 and 6 inside the box. Now what we need to do is to put also these two numbers inside this empty slot. So 2 and 6. So if we have a positive number, then we also include the sign. So positive 2 and positive 6. So in this case, the A is equal to 3. Okay, so let me rewrite 1. So A is 3 1/3. 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 6. Now we can simplify this expression. We can factor out the 3. So equals 1/3 3x plus 2 times 3 times x plus 2. And we can simplify by cancelling this 1/3 and 3, because 1/3 times 1 is equal to 1/3 times 3 is equal to 1. So then the conclusion is this trinomial is equal to 3x plus 2 times x plus 2. So equals 3x plus 2 times x plus 2. Okay, now let us try some other example. Let us see more examples. So here we have a trinomial 12x squared plus 7x plus 1. And then once we know the leading term, so put the leading term here and then write 12x, 12x. And then left some empty space over there. Now consider the product of the leading term and the constant term. 12 times 1 is 12. And consider the coefficient of x, 7. Now we would like to find two numbers so that the product is 12 and the sum is 7. Okay, we can try to find the two numbers by listing all possible factors of 12. So 12 can be obtained from 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. And this is exactly the one that adds up to 7. So here we have 3 and 4. 3 and 4. And then now the next step is we just need to plug in these two numbers inside the empty slots. So positive 3 and positive 4. And the last step, we simplify this expression. So we can see here that 3 is a factor of 12. So we can factor out the 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 4x plus 1. And on the other factor, we can factor out 4. 4 times 3x plus 1. Okay. So now 3 times 4 is 12. 12 multiplied by its reciprocal, which is equal to 1. So this can be simplified to 4x plus 1 times 3x plus 1. Okay. So we are done factoring this trinomial. Okay. Let us try the next example. So here we have a trinomial 5x squared plus 13x plus 6. So once we know the leading term, put the 5 here, there, and there. Okay. Now consider the leading term, which is 5, and the constant term, which is negative 6. 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. And the coefficient of x is 13. So now we want to find two numbers so that the product is negative 30 and the sum is 13. So first we can try listing all possible factors of 30. So 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, 5 times 6. Okay. Note that the sign of this number is negative. It means that one of this factor must be negative. Okay, so for example, we can get negative 30 from negative 1 and 30, and the sum is 29, not the one we are looking for. If we put negative sign on here in front of 30, then negative 30 plus 1 is negative 29, also not the one that we are looking for. Now the one that we are looking for is if we put negative 2 here and then 15. 15 plus negative 2 is 13, and 15 times negative 2 is negative 30. So the two numbers that we are looking for is negative 2 and 15. Negative 2 and 15. And now our job is to put these two numbers inside the empty slot, so negative 2 and plus 15. Now the last step is simplifying, so 1/5 5x minus 2, and then we can factor out the 5x plus 3, and then we can cancel the 5. 1/5 and 5, and we are done.